it's time for more of Sherlock Holmes and the Adventure of the Tower of London. So this is episode 3 of me going through this book, and by experience with the last 2 books that we did, this might be the end, or it might take a little bit longer and might require a fourth stream. So we shall see how it goes. But if you notice, there is a handy dandy little graphic over to the left here, and that's because I actually scanned them all in and got them prepped. So you will be able to see all of the images of these puzzles on the screen as we're going through them. So last we left off, let's see. I need to refresh my memory. I was editing the previous video earlier this morning, but that does not mean that I remember. Let's see, we were at the Boyer Tower, and then from there we went to the letter E, which is the number 19. The number 19 a thing on here? I cannot recall. There's the Boyer Tower. 19 is... Get this at this? I do not see it. But in any case, we're at the letter E, the number 19. So I read this at the end of last stream, but I'm going to go ahead and read it again at the beginning of this one just to provide some context for us going into this. So I'm going to be reading this page here. We are Sherlock and we have Watson with us. E, Watson says. Quite right, you answer. Fascinating thing, the Sator square, not unlike those magical number squares the ancient Chinese went in for so much. End of quotes. It's a kind of verbal lock, you think to yourself. Yes, locking up or tying down language, or hiding meaning. Once again, Watson seems to be attuned to your thoughts in the most curious fashion. And he says, talking of locks, I heard the most fascinating claim last week about the court musician Mark Smeaton, the fellow who was jailed and executed as the alleged lover of Anne Boleyn. Side note, was on TikTok this morning, and there was this woman whose special interest is Anne Boleyn, and hearing her rant about the musical was fascinating. Anyway, so Watson stops chewing his mustache, which is a hilarious visual. Yes, you inquire. Ah, you do take an interest in my historical knowledge, Watson says. You roll your eyes. And then he continues. Well, there's a Tudor-era lock you may have heard of, supposedly one of the most secure ever made. Only one key to it exists. I was told that Smeaton was its inventor, but that it can also be opened by playing a sequence of musical notes. Watson continues. It was designed, the story goes, so that when King Henry was at his most suspicious, Anne could retire for the night under lock and key, with this lock, I should say, but Smeaton alone could gain access to her for dalliance. Genuinely fascinating, you think. Watson is still talking. Smeaton famously said it was for my sweet love, FMSL, which I believe is a thing that I wrote down. What was? Watson is surprised that you are maintaining interest. He snorts. The motets he wrote for her, I think, or perhaps the lock itself. There we go, I wrote it down. For my sweet love. You refocus on the puzzle. What do we do with the answer 19, you think? We could try taking 19 steps across the floor. You look down. And look, there's an arrow pointing the way. After 19 steps, there's a message on the floor, and beyond it on the floor, a number square. Ha! Very clever palindromic phrase, but I don't think it applies, Watson. We're being asked to fill in the missing numbers. It looks like a magic square. One space is circled, so it must be our intended destination. So, after all that recap, that's what we are doing now. So there's a circle over one of the boxes, and it says in our lovely little note down here, in a magic square, the sum of the numbers in each row, column, and main diagonal must come to the same amount. In this example, each of the 25 squares holds one of the numbers from 1 to 25. Identify the number missing from the circled space and find the numbered location on the map and turn to that number. So, this is going to require a little bit of finagling. I wish that I could just draw on this overlay, but I do not have that capability. Oh well. So I'm just going to do a sneaky little box on my notebook here, because I feel like that will be easier for me. Okay, so we need that circled one. We have 23, 14, 7, 11, 4, 24, 13, 8, 19, 5, 22, 25. Okay. So we already have 22 through 25. Interesting. So the total we have so far, is it just horizontal and vertical? Row column and main diagonal. Okay, awesome. That is helpful. So by main diagonal, they mean the 5, 8, 13, and the 2 blanks, and then the blank 14, 13, blank 25. So they all create the same sum. What we have so far, 21, 26 so far on that one smaller diagonal, and then 52 on the bigger diagonal. We already know that we're looking for a larger number because of going from 1 through 25. And I know that I'm sure that there's a sneaky deaky way to figure it out with just a few of the things, but... And I'm curious by the statement never odd or even. I'm curious what that means. I also like that they say main diagonal because, of course, the smaller diagonals wouldn't make that total. Let's see, 57. Oh, why am I doing it that way? 30. I can do math. 30, 52. We have another 52 partial on that bottom row. $27. I'm just seeing where we stand currently, because then I can always add things to it, of course. 25, 32. Yep. So 32 on the row / 29 on the row where we need that circle. 27. I'll put them down here. 36. 26. I'm just looking for what the largest number is, and I think that's going to be the 52s. Which I'm interested that it was 52 for both of them. The diagonal going up to down, and then the bottom row. Not that that means anything, I just found it interesting. 20, 39, 37, 38, 39, 45. Okay. Yeah, 52 is the largest number that we have so far. So I get the feeling, based off of this, that we're going to need to have a 20-something, maybe two 20-somethings in that diagonal going from the bottom to the top, just to get over 52. I wonder if there's I am going to look at the hint just to see if there's a recommendation on how to go about doing this kind of puzzle, because it's not one that I've done before, and going by trial and error is probably not the most interesting thing in the world. So 19. If every number from 1 to 25 has to appear in the square, what might it mean for the totals of each column, row, or diagonal? I mean, that's Hi. Hello, Anya. It's 7 in the evening. 8 where you are. You streaming is messing with my sense of time. It is because I finished my work for the day and I still have more of this book to do. So right now we're doing a magic square. So all of the rows and columns and then the two major diagonals are going to equal the same number, which is somewhere over 52. We have a lot of missing spaces, but we really only need to find out what that circle is, what the circled number is. So that is what we are working on at the moment. But yes, hello, welcome to Late Night Anya stream. I'm gonna actually get a drink of water, hang on. I know, it's chaos. And I'm writing it down because it's easier. I also have on this page all of the kills that my players had in a Monster of the Week game on Sunday. Because they were trying to stop a magical nuclear reactor 800,000 years in the future. It's a time. They're having a good time. But anyway. Let's see. I'm gonna see what numbers we are missing. 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, 10, 12. We have 13, 14, 15, 16. Making sure I didn't write it down incorrectly. 17, 18. We have 19, 20, and 21. So, that helps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yep, okay. Making sure that I got that right. Always good to double check. So let's say we have 26. So somewhere like 17 through 21 probably has to be in one of those that's on the diagonal going down to up. So let's just say it's 21 here then. That would mean 47, which is still 5 away from 52. So anything, and the minimum number that we can have is, oh, it's not even going to be, so my brain was going, okay, 52 plus 1 plus 2. However, we have a diagonal and a horizontal that are 52, which means that the lowest number, that makes things tricky. The lowest number that can therefore be, we need to find a combination that works with both of these with the numbers that are remaining. I think that's going to be our key here. So if we have, let's see, because they each need 2 numbers. Okay, so it can't be like 1 and 9 and 10, for example, because then the 1 is missing a number. There's no 8, so it can't be 2, 8, and 10 because 8 is already taken. Let's see if it's 12. 12 can work. Oh, but again, we need that. But, however, 12 can still work if it's 2, 10, 3, and 9. So if that's the case, then we're looking at 64 total as the lowest score. Let's see if that works. Let's see if that holds up for everything else. So I'm looking at these, and I'm thinking that the two, I mean, I guess I can just randomly try things out and see what works out. So like if that's 2 and 10 on the bottom row, and then we put 3 there and 9 there, we're looking at 20, just add this, 49, 64 minus 49. Who knew that you were going to be doing math on my stream today? 15 is a number that we still have. I'm gonna grab my phone to make this a little bit easier. I'll just double check that that works. 15 plus 7 plus 13 plus 19 plus 10 is 64. Okay. And then we have 23 plus 14 plus 10 minus 64, 17, which is a number that's available. I'm trying to make it faint so that I know which numbers are left over. Okay, so if that's the case, 23 plus 19 plus 9 is 51 minus 64, because that's how I'm doing these things. 13. Nope. That order of business does not work. So then let's switch over. If I do the 9 there, then the 16 could still be in play. Take that 21 out. So if it's 3 and 9, then 10 and 2, we are looking at 16 up top instead. Nope, 11's not available, so that doesn't work either. So then I swap out, and it might be that 12 is not the total, like 64 is not the total that we're looking for, in which case we'll see what happens. So if it's 3 there, 9 there, let's just start with that and go from there. So then 23 plus 14 plus 17 total is 54. So then the 10 would go there, which I don't think will work for this. We shall see. 3 plus 19 plus 13 plus 7 is way too big a number. Okay, that's not going to work. Okay. So that tells me that it is not 12 as the total, in which case could be 15. We can't get too large though. That's the struggle. I was going for the smallest first and going up from there because that's the easiest thing to narrow down. I'm just going to make sure that I did the math right on this. Yeah. Okay, we're good. Yeah. Cool. Okay, so if it's not 64 total, what can it be? Get rid of that 47. So if that's the case, then we're looking at, yeah, it could be 15 total because there's a 6 and a 9 and a, what was it? A 3 and a 12. We already know that 9 doesn't go there, but 6 go there. So what's the total if we are having 15? 67 is the total in that case. So with that, let's say, I mean, 9 could be in that spot next to the 5 if this is 67, potentially, because then we're looking at 23 plus 14 plus 8 plus 9 is 54. I just do minus 67 to get it 13. Not possible. So then if it is the 6, 23 plus 14 plus 8 plus 6 minus 67 is 16 is possible. So if I put the 6 there, the 9 there, the 16 there, then 9 plus 19 plus 13 plus 7 minus 67 is 19, so that doesn't work. Okay. This is honestly just trial and error. Unless someone has a trick to it. If it's a 5x5 grid, would the total have to end in either a 0 or 5? That I don't know. Because it's a number, so they're numbers from 1 to 25. So we're missing 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, 10, 12, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20, 21. The highest numbers so far are the 5, 22, 25 row, which is 52, and then the diagonal from top to bottom, which is also 52. So I was going based off of, okay, what is the lowest possible high number and go from there, because you obviously can't have like a 21 and a 20 going in one of those big number rows, because none of the other rows will equal out to that. So I'm going from the lowest and working my way up, which I'm sure Sherlock would look at this and be like, ah, yes, this is what it is. I know it immediately. But anyway, so let's say then 12 and 3 in those spots. Oh yes, and I did the totals, and what am I doing? So it's 45 base total plus 12. It's 57, so that would be 10, which is possible in that between the 14 and the 18 and the 8, 14 and the 8. So if a 10 goes there, then 39 plus 3 minus 67 is 25, which already exists, so that doesn't work. Like, I'm logicking this out, but I think I'm just gonna have to, for time's sake, I think I'm gonna just have to look up the solution, which I'm sure is like, oh, you should know with magic squares, XYZ thing. It doesn't give a rhyme or reason to it. That is ridiculous. Hang on. I'm going to look at what the totals are. Not as satisfying as figuring it out on your own. That's disappointing. I missed one. That's very sad. Yeah, they don't. That doesn't make any sense to me why they wouldn't give a, hey, this is how you solve these magic squares. In the solutions, it's just, oh, here's the answer. Because they usually give you an explanation. So what it says for 19, come on, flip to it, is if every number from 1 to 25 has to appear in the square, what might that mean for the totals of each column, row, or diagonal? Which is a terrible clue. Like, we already were given that information in the bottom where it says, in a magic square, the sum of the numbers in each row, column, and main diagonal must come to the same amount. In this example, each of the 25 squares holds one of the numbers from 1 to 25. Identify the number missing from the circled space, find the numbered location on the map, and turn to that number. So, like, that gives us more information than the hint does. So why did they even bother giving us that hint? And why didn't they provide more context in the solution, which they usually do? So what I'm going to say is that the grand total of each of these columns is 67. Sorry, not 67, it's 65. I had written down 67 previously. It's 65. So we have, let's see, 13 total. So 1 and 12. And the other one was 3 and 10. And I actually don't remember which one goes where. But I believe it's that. Let's see. So 65 is the solution for these things. Minus that. So 1 and 12. Yeah, exactly. You were right about the 0 or 5. Yeah. So let's see. Then I'm going with the 1 and 12, which I believe is this. And then 32 plus that minus 65. I've got 6, 9, 20, and 21 left. So no. I think I reversed my final numbers. 27 plus that minus 65. Can I do math? Apparently today is a day where I am not doing math very well. Hello, solutions. Oh, I was right the first time. I just was being bad at math. Okay. Nice to see it. Gotta love it. Okay. Well, our circled answer, after all that annoyance, is 15. So, on that note, we're gonna go to number 15. So, that is our numbered location next. I am going to go ahead and hide this one. And 15 does have another thing. To the Cold Harbor Tower. They're taking us all around the Tower of London. 15, Watson says triumphantly as he completes the magic square. That is correct. I've been waiting for you to finish and then inform me what structure is numbered 15 on our map. Of course, Holmes would just wait. I mean, patiently? I don't know. But of course he would wait. Yeesh. This proves to be a long hall from the Boyer Tower to in the northern wall, all the way round the barracks to the center of the tower enclosure. You easily outpace Watson, but even you are beginning to feel weary by the time you arrive, and when you get there, the Cold Harbor Tower is no more than a ruin. Remarkable tale here, Holmes, of the only woman ever to escape from the tower, a certain Alice Tankerville, reputedly a witch and pirate no less, imprisoned for the theft of 366 gold crowns. She was kept in strictest confinement in the Cold Harbor Tower, but befriended one of her guards and was moments away from leaving London on horseback when the guard was recognized. She didn't last long after that. In the fading light, Watson's eyes are shining with the excitement of the tale. Yeah, sure, of course you'd be excited about history of a woman dying. What? That makes no sense. It is a beautiful evening and undoubtedly atmospheric. You scan the ruins of the tower and the green before it. A spot of white tucked into some crumbling masonry turns out to be paper inscribed with a riddle. And you can see it on the screen. Hopefully you're able to read it. Ponder your imprisoned state, where a fearless pirate maid broke free. Your next move ever I dictate, to bring you to disgrace all three. All three? Is there a third person? But you are dawdling. To move and make the most of time, find a body that can hold wine, and that sunlight might make to shine. Intriguing. Cheap rhymes and boasting, you mutter. Dreadful man, Watson says. But what do you think, Holmes? Must be a wine-glass, and we know where they are in plenty. Let's return to the Yeoman Warders Club. It could be, but you're not sure. I highly doubt that it's the Yeoman Warders Club. So to inspect the other side of the Cold Harbor Tower ruins, turn to 77. That would be too simple. Oh, we have another thing. And hang on just 1 second. I'm looking at number 77. Ha, it's almost like I prepared them. Hold on, Watson. Let us just have a further look here, around this side, for instance. You crouch down low, inspecting the ground-level ruins. Watson is coming up behind you to help when he exclaims, "Here we are!" Looking up, you see a message chalked carefully on the upper stones of the tower ruin. Take a step back and look closely. So now we have our lovely wheel over here, which you can also use. There's the link again. So for that, you will be moving the wheel around digitally to find out what the heck this message says. Decode the message, then turn to the number dictated by the third letter. Wouldn't I just go to the third letter? I mean, we can also decode the message. The third letter is a W, by the way. How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, cool. Honestly, it's I can just look at it on the screen here. This is so much easier. Wait, I think I saw that. So, oh, wait, you. I can count. There are 6 letters in that last one. I'm confused by this, seeing as it's not creating. Take a step back and look closely. Curious what that means. This is all nonsense. Just gonna point that out. Yeah, this is all written in some kind of code. Take a step back and look closely. So I'm going to go ahead and type, I'm sorry, dear Holmes, I appear to have fallen asleep on the Java K sofa. How dare you? It's okay. We took forever on a magic square, and now we're on to the next thing. So we got this message to decode, but maybe you can interpret what the heck this is. Yeah. TPNF. Is that a C? I can't read my own handwriting. Okay, good. Yeah, so we both got that part. But oh no, yeah, that first one is supposed to be an F, not an E. I had lines and I wasn't thinking. Anyway, what does it mean take a step back and look closely? IBWF TPNF CPUUMF. I think I'm gonna look for a clue.
I don't mean to alarm anybody.
Hello, thank you for the follow.
But I think we're being followed.
Thank you. Oh, hey there. How's it going? We are currently trying to solve this riddle. If you have any ideas, please do let us know. We have the translation. Dark Lamba has it right. I screwed up the fourth letter on mine when I was typing it down. So I'm trying to interpret this. So we have our lovely decoder here, and there's a digital version. And so the decoder of these symbols gives us these random letters. I have no clue what they mean. Because then it says decode the message, then turn to the number indicated by the third letter. Do I just need to go? Only the raindrop and the olive-shaped thing on the sword in the right are filled out. It means something. Yeah. So each of those symbols is on the decoder. And if you go to... Hang on, I'll send the thing again. So if you go to that link, you can scroll around the digital decoder so that you can decode what the letters are. And so what I'm thinking is it's possible that the W, hang on, let me get to W. Maybe they just want us to go to number 17, which is an output number for the third letter. Is it definitely letters we want and not the numbers? Yeah, because what it says is decode the message, then turn to the number indicated by the third letter. So maybe we just need to have all of those letters, and then it'll tell us what to do next when we turn to 17. Let me see if that's the case. From 55. Nope. So there must be something else at play here. But it seems like a wasted puzzle if it's the number for one symbol. Exactly. So there must be something more. We probably need to rearrange all of the letters, would be my guess. Yeah, those letters I can't make heads or tails of. Yeah, because there's only 3 vowels. Yeah, F is always at the end. But that doesn't necessarily mean anything because, like, these might not be individual words. It might be one giant word. It might be all rearranged. I'm going to look at the hint. Just because, as I've said previously, I see nothing wrong with looking at hints. We're going to 77. What could take a step back and look closely mean in terms of using the code wheel? Okay, I'm looking closely at the code wheel. 1 letter previous to each letter? Maybe. Or like 1 symbol back. Okay, so if we go with that, let's go to the I. So it could be H. One of you write this down. So I'll give the letters. So we have. So would we just shift over 1? Because in that case, H-A-V, have, yes, have. This is just the alphabet. Have, S-O-M-E, have some, B, O, T-T, L-E, have some bottle? Have some bottle, is that right? Have some bottle. Okay, so V is the one that we need to go to, though, is 2. Have some bottle. What a weird... That's confusing. Have some bottle. And that's just confusing from a grammar perspective. Okay, well, in that case, the 3rd letter is V. Have some bottle. Really? I've never heard that as a phrase before. Interesting. So that means that we need to go to 2 because V is 2. Yep, from 77. Very good. Weird. But hey. Looking for a bottle. Your adversary is intolerable, huffs Watson. He's telling us to be braver. How dare he? Yeah, I've never heard that as a phrase before. I'm fascinated. And to look for a bottle as well, you add. His meaning is pretty clear, especially in concert with the riddle he left. Not for the first time tonight, your mind strays to the concert tomorrow morning. You wonder about Moriarty's plan. Yeah, it has to be a Britishism, and it's interesting because, you know, I'm in the UK all the time. My best friend is British, and I lived in Cambridge. I mean, it was half a year, but still, you'd think I would have heard that phrase at some point. I don't know. Maybe I didn't, I just didn't maintain it in my brain. Anyway, Watson falls in with your search, and you begin to seek out a bottle in the area around the Cold Harbor Tower ruins. No luck. The light is beginning to fade. Of course, since Watson knocked your watch into a glass of gin at the Yeoman Warders Club, you cannot tell the exact time, but given the time of year and the deepening shadows, you estimate it would be around 6:33. Okay. An old British term. So we have another time. And I just want to see where... So 5:02 p.m. was right before Watson knocked the thing over into the gin. So at 2, it is around 6:33 p.m. Okay. If it's not here, where we are, how the devil can we find a bottle in this vast enclosure and so many buildings? Asked Watson. We have managed many a task far harder in our career, Watson. Be calm. You're beginning to enjoy this. Because you're Sherlock Holmes, of course you're beginning to enjoy this. You both spread out, eyes expertly scanning far and wide. Thank goodness your vision is so keen. Although only a few yards distant, Watson seems mercifully far away. All at once you stop, hearing a sequence of notes. As a devoted Sherlockian, I'm always a bit angry when Watson is the clumsy one. He's great. Yeah, he was drinking a bottle of gin earlier. Like a glass, whatever. He stumbled and tripped into Holmes, causing his timepiece to fall into the gin, and then never even apologized. And I was just like, excuse you, sir. What are you doing? This isn't Watson. Anyway. Let's see. So all at once you stop, hearing a sequence of notes. Be silent, Watson. What? I said nothing. Were you not whistling or singing? No, Holmes, not a breath. As before, when you heard music on Tower Green, the notes make you shiver. You pause. Watson is suddenly at your side, handing you something long, thin, cold. It's another Stradivarius string. You barely register it, simply taking it and pocketing it. You are caught up with the notes, the eerie reverie. As you search the shadows for their source, you see a flurry of movement, a flick of reddish gold hair. Did you see? Watson's eyes are in the sky, watching the ravens. Again, the notes sound. So, do we continue to look for the bottle, or do we follow the music? You guys decide. This might determine the fate of the queen. Or something. I feel like this is an interesting one because there have been times in the past in these books where you follow along with the distraction thing. And so, the music might be the distraction that causes us to go in circles a little bit longer and causes ruin to Sherlock. Spoiler alert, we have a king now. Your gut says music? Okay, and the criminal left the code. Should we roll a dice about it? Let's see. Or we can do the vote thing that I never do. Hang on. Hey, James, you do the vote thing. I don't know how it works. Set up a vote. Do we follow the music or look for the bottle? I can figure out how to do it if I need to. Let's see. There we go. What do? Give us a vote. Thank you. You need to show me how to do that because I still don't know how. It's a bit meta, but Holmes would know about the music right away. Well, what you don't know is that we found his very expensive Stradivarius in the bushes. So, and one of his other violin strings was also found. So his violin was found without any strings at all, and then he had found one string previously, and then he found another string. Yeah, his violin, his millions of pounds violin was stolen out of his apartment, and he was just like, no big deal, whatevs. Like, excuse you, Holmes. Care more about your extremely expensive violin. What are you doing? Anyway, it looks like we're following the music. So that is what we shall do. I see 2 votes for music and 1 vote for bottle. So given that, I'm going to turn to 66. It probably belonged to his brother and was his decoy violin. I mean, could be. But he says, ah, yes, his Strahd was found, because we're reading this in his perspective. So turning to 66 then. The crime is alive with the sound of music. Okay, 66. Another tune. Ah, time to switch images. Okay, so what this says is, I will read it first and then I will show you the image. So you move towards the sound of the notes and emerge in a small clearing. Watson is initially petulant, keen to keep moving, but his resistance lasts a matter of moments, and soon he is back to regaling you with tales of the tower. You tune in. In fact, he is saying, although the tower is primarily associated with crime and bloodshed, it has a rich history of art and culture, too. You nod, but you are distracted when you catch sight of something in the bushes to your right. During the reign of Henry VIII, this included royal trumpeter John Blank, with an E. He continues. You pause a moment and listen. Blank is thought to have traveled over to England with Catherine of Aragon. I almost said Aragorn. Wrong thing. He played for many years in the royal court. Amazingly, he argued with the king that his wages should be doubled to no less than 16 pence a day, and succeeded. Watson finishes with a flourish. You do wonder where he found the time to prepare in such detail. Honestly, yes, he has a really good mind if he's remembering all of this history. And Rohan will answer. Exactly. You move towards the bushes, and there, entwined with the leaves and branches, is another scroll of paper. You pull it out and hand it to Watson. Unraveled, the scroll shows a single bar of music, this time with the word love above it. This is 66. Dun dun dun! But still, it's missing a bar and stuff. You slide it into your pocket. You have a sense this won't be the last time you consider this short piece of music. Together, you move out of the clearing. Like, feel free to take a screenshot of this. What I'm probably going to do at the end when we actually need to compile everything is I will pull up all of the images, like I'll just flip through and find them all, and then we'll go from there. So going to 53 then. Oop, too far. Sherlock on the stage. I keep thinking, Holmes, Watson begins, that you are rather being set up as a musician this evening. He's laughing out loud now. Are you ready for the stage? Let's return to searching for this bottle, Watson, you retort. Although it might all be a little uncomfortable, no, Holmes, he asks, given that Odon asked you for help and you refused. There aren't enough lines, exactly. It really bothers me. You stop and turn to him. What on earth are you talking about? You ask. He wrote to you a few weeks ago asking for your attention on an urgent matter, Watson responds. You told me that the matter was beneath you and asked me to throw his letter away. You had not forgotten. It was a drab letter full of rambling claims of a top-secret plot. You begin to wonder whether, if you had helped him then, but there's no time for conjecture, you return to rifling through the bushes, and turn to 44. White Tower. Did I grab this image? I did not, because this is, so I'll show it to you. Oops, sorry. Timer. So this is the image, and I don't think that there's anything that's going to be puzzle relevant on it, so I didn't take a picture of it and pop it in. I may regret that. I do see that there's an arrow on the picture, but besides that. Anyway, so White Tower. You cast your eyes around at the scene in front of you. Watson is still kindly carrying the stringless Stradivarius in its case. What's this? A few last rays of early evening sunshine catch on something in the foliage. You see a glint. There's a bottle hidden in the bushes. You tell Watson. Picking it up, he finds a piece of paper stuffed inside. The paper states 14 Southeast Williams Tower. And he's going to go off again. Anya's keeping info from us. Is she secretly Moriarty? Yes. Which is why I'm typing this up for you. 14 Southeast Williams Tower. Williams Tower. Well, he begins. You're a couple steps ahead of him. Elementary, you think. I have to do it. Hang on, hang on.
Elementary, my dear Watson.
Insight check. Yep. He continues. The White Tower was begun by William the Conqueror in about 1078, as we all know, and SE could be southeast. But how would we know precisely the directions? You have the map in your hand, and for Sonia there, we have map, just FYI. So, but how do we know precisely the directions? You have the map in your hand. Really, Watson, did you not take note of the small compass drawn on the map? Well, I did not, but I see it now, he grumbles. Is there? Yeah, southeast. Okay, anyway. You both make your way over to White Tower and carefully pace out 14 steps. 14 steps. Okay. To the southeast of the Great Norman Keep. You show him the map. We are standing here, you say, with the stores in the east and the main guard in the west. South is Lanthorn Tower. So hang on, I wanted to look at this. There's Lanthorn Tower, stores, main guard. Okay, so we are here. You look up. What now? There's a message spelled out here somewhere. You were led here by the one in the bottle. Now here is one on the building to direct your next move. Pleasant breeze, Holmes, Watson murmurs, coming straight towards us, and rather helpful. You scratch your head. What does Watson mean? Is he a step ahead of you for once? Dang it, I did need to take a picture of this. Okay. So I think that arrow is indicating that we need to go into this building next. So looking at the map. So White Tower, 14 steps to the southeast of the Norman Keep. Norman Keep? Oh, is this entire thing the Norman Keep? I don't know. It's not labeled. Okay, so we are south is Lantern Tower. Okay, so we're looking at White Tower, which I'm guessing means that we need to go into White Tower because there's an arrow right there. That would be my guess. I'm going to check to see, but that's White Tower 58. I'm going to check to see what the hint is for this. Do you notice anything odd about the position of the wind vanes? They're pointing inward to the tower. So if you look at if it's a wind thingy, the breeze should move them. Yeah, but you see, that one and that one, they're both pointed inward. And then that one, if there is a wind vane, isn't showing anything at all. But I don't think that there is one. Oh, I found another arrow. There's another arrow right there. Arrow there. And then there. So we need to go to that. Not that we can't physically go there, but they're both pointing at this window. Is the arrow just an arrow, or could it be a wind vane as well on the wall? No, it looks like it's drawn onto the wall. Like if you look at it. Right there. That looks drawn on. Same for the one. I'm bad at doing this right there. See the arrows? There and there. They seem to be pointing at this window right here. I love that Watson and Holmes hold on to their hats because of the brace, right? It's cute. I'm gonna check to see if I'm right about the tower. So something is keeping the weather vanes in place, exactly. Here, let's see. The two wind vanes must have been positioned by hand because neither is pointing in the direction of the breeze. Right, they should be pointing essentially towards Holmes and Watson based off of the drawing, and they aren't. Although perspective is a little bit of a tricky thing with that one, that you could argue that the one on the right-hand side is, but anyway. Including the two wind vanes, there are 5 arrows visible. 2 facing right. Oh, did I miss a... Oh, I see the last one. It's right there. Okay. So 2 facing right, 1 up, 1 down, 1 left. When these are put together, there is 1 loop of arrows that cancels it out, so you are directed east. Okay. I don't understand how that's supposed to cancel itself out, unless you're told that they cancel out. Okay, this leads you to the stores marked 35 on the map. So, oh hey, they give a little history lesson here, and you can correct this as our resident Holmes expert. Note, elementary, my dear Watson, is often quoted as the way Holmes puts down his companion while offering an explanation. In fact, in the Conan Doyle stories, Holmes never uses the phrase. He does say elementary, for example, in the 1893 story, The Adventure of the Crooked Man. Elementary, my dear Watson, appeared in the film scripts not written by Conan Doyle and passed into the parlance of our times. So, this is not canon.
Elementary, my dear Watson.
I like that. But at the same time, I don't like that they're like, you should automatically know that since you have north, east, south, west, you cut out. Yes, elementary, but not elementary, my dear Watson, is what they're saying. The my dear Watson part is what is not canon to the original stories. Yeah. Okay, so allegedly we're going to the stores. It's fine. We're going to 35. Hey, this is another thing. Okay. Oh, I forget what number this one was. There it is. Okay, so we're going to 35 now. I will click on this in a second to make it visible. And once again, people with a sense of direction are better suited to this damnation. Yep. So Watson leads the way eastwards to the stores. He pushes open the door and you walk inside. The large building is cavernous and appears to be deserted. Your destination within the building and your intended task are not immediately clear, so you begin to explore the ground floor. Outside, the sun is setting and the last light is beautiful, but in this shadowy interior it is gloomy and you light the gas lamps as you go, illuminating one room after another. Watson is surprisingly silent. The stores are history-free and human-free and everything else free, apparently. I like how that rhymed. You are growing exasperated and are about to turn to Watson and ask if there's any way you could have made a mistake when something catches your eye. A large sack of grain leaning against a wall. The grain itself isn't confusing, but the weight listed on the label reads a measly 26 ounces. You gesture for Watson to come and join you. Look here, 26 ounces for this great sack. That can't be correct, can it? You ask, turning towards him. What on earth would lead somebody to mislabel their grain quite so incorrectly? And these, Holmes, Watson says, indicating a number of smaller bags piled up against another wall. 20 ounces, 7 ounces, 19 ounces. Absolutely none of these are correct. Perhaps they are trying to lead us somewhere. Show us something, Watson asks. And now I will show it to you. Dun-dun-dun. So 1, 7, 19, 20, 20, 26, 26, 26. You read aloud. What can it mean? Use the map to find your next location. Use the map. Is there a 1 on here? No. We're not adding all of them together because that wouldn't make sense. Maybe it's steps again, like 14 steps, and then change direction. But change direction how? So if you're going 1, you're going 1 what? And then 7 what? And then 19 what? I'll take a picture of this map and pop it into the Discord server. I know it won't be a perfect map. Not perfectly straight, but hey, that's fine. They do like doing a lot of steps, which is interesting. Because that's not something that you can, like, you're not there in person doing these things. I don't know. So this will be in games and TTRPGs. Maybe. But it says use the map to find your next location. Oh, I figured that you were saying divvy. Divvied up. Well, let's see. 1 plus 7 plus 19 plus 40 plus 26. I'm not doing the math on that. Let's just do that. Divided by 2, 4, 6, 8. It's not an even number. It's 18.125. Which I would have known just looking at it because there are 3 numbers that are odd. But anyway. PHEOOTTT if they were code wheel numbers, but I don't know. That's true. I didn't think about code wheel numbers. Can you check if it's regular alphabet numbers? So like 1 is A, etc. That's too many Z's. Never mind. And hang on, I'm gonna... Theo something? Yeah, I don't see anything that has those letters. No, unfortunately, this is all the information. They're not like, oh yes, just look in the sacks and see what's there. Because that would be smart. Let's see, this is number 35. Let's see what the clue is. The clue says some spinning and scrambling wouldn't go amiss. So, spinning and scrambling. But I'm not seeing anything that has those letters. Scrambling as in rearranging is usually what that means. Brick, wire, flint, Devereux, battery. I'm just checking over all of the words. No. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything scrambling. Maybe... No. So we know that the numbers are wrong in terms of weight, but so we have the code wheel, and so it says some spinning and scrambling wouldn't go amiss. So spinning the code wheel to find the letters. So like for example, just to show you, the number 1 as an input creates the letter P. So Deep Squirrel went through, oh, sorry, it should not be that close to the mic, I know. So Deep Squirrel went through and found all of the letters that are associated with the various numbers. But it could be that they're shifted a little bit. I am curious if maybe the numbers that they started out with were correct. So you mean the numbers for O and Z? O is 20 and Z is 11. So if it starts with the 26, oh, it's going to be a word though, I think. It might be a sentence. But so the 26s are T's. I was just looking at the letters that we were given. So if it's T-O, I'm just looking at what order they put things in when they were saying things out loud. T-O-H probably won't be a thing, but it's fine. E. Tohe. Yeah, probably not. Then we have P-O-T-T. Tohe pot. Which makes no sense. Curse Moriarty and his math brain. Yes, indeed. Curiouser and curiouser. Yeah, I'm gonna rearrange, yeah, to the top? To the top. To the top? Do we have to go to the top of the tower? Also, I just want to know why Moriarty is doing all of these things. Okay, but to the top of which tower? Also, I hear to the top and I immediately think of Tuck Everlasting. That would be White Tower, but we're in the stores right now, so that might not be relevant anymore. Let's see. And there's so many towers. What's the tallest point? Oh, well, there's an attic in the stores. To the top of the stores? I have no idea why else we would be in this, as far as I know. Why did we even go here? Yeah, up the stairs we go. 32. Yep, from 35. So Watson follows you up 3 flights of stairs, and eventually you climb into the attic. Here you find a lit gas lamp awaiting you, It's odd, all these indications that someone is here guiding you, but you're yet to see a soul except those glimpses of red gold hair. Is Adler back? So that was me saying that, not the book. So you glance around the room, which holds an indiscriminate collection of objects from around the site and throughout the tower's history. Books, china, glassware, some rusty armor. In the corner you can see a full set of theater costumes, and at your feet are a number of cheap glass gems, colored to look like emeralds and rubies. Stuck in the gems is an envelope. "My worthy adversary" is written on the front, and the word "worthy" is crossed out. Cheap, even by Moriarty's standards. Let me see. And we find Moriarty up there, and he says, "Welcome home to your episode of Cash in the Attic." I actually do not understand that reference. I assume that it is a British TV show. Okay, so you open the red... I skipped something. Watson is standing at the other end of the room, looking out at Tower Bridge. Looming over the river is the reddening sunset. You open the letter and read aloud. "So, you pick me up from amongst the gems. Let's hope none of them make their way into your pockets, Mr. Holmes. Who knows what you'll be found with before the night is out, or when the morning comes." You look up at Watson, but he is still staring out across the water. You return to the letter. "I'll catch you, Holmes. You'll be listening to Odon's music from behind the bars. There's nothing you can do about it, as the Thames runs softly, and you're caught red-handed. And I'll have it all." TV show where they find, like, antiques and stuff in people's attics. Gotcha. You sigh. These letters are so self-regarding. It's clear something terrible is meant to happen tomorrow, and Moriarty feels he has the upper hand. But how does it relate to the concert? What does he expect to catch you doing? Turn to 75. House in general, not just attic, yeah. Priceless gems, hang on. My lips are chapped. I need to fix it. I feel like this chapstick does not actually do anything except for like a hot second. Anyway. So, you realize Watson has been speaking and pull yourself back into the room. "Come over and see this." Watson is watching the bridge and what appears to be a crane depositing on its main walkway a large box that seems to be covered in dark material. "It must be for the concert," he says, turning away. A new what? I'm confused. O'Keefe's lip. Oh, chapstick. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I was slow on the uptake there. I was like, a new one, what? Let's see. You'd look a little while longer. Something doesn't feel right. The concert was all set up this morning. You saw it. What is this oblong box? Why is it being added now? What an odd note from Moriarty, Watson comments. Why do you think he keeps referencing Odon's piece? You receive Watson's words. You hadn't quite thought of it that way, but he's right. Moriarty's messages do reference Odon's composition. How odd. Where next? Watson asks. Was there a puzzle? Yes, you respond and read it aloud. So, here in the attic is a pile of 60 gems. 20 green emeralds, 20 clear diamonds, 20 red rubies. They are all cut identically, impossible to distinguish by touch. In a moment, the light will go out. What is the minimum number of gems you will need to take downstairs with you to be sure you are holding 3 gems of the same type? Watson smiles at you. Let's just take all 60, Holmes, he chuckles. I think we should be careful what we put in our pockets, old chap, you respond. I have a feeling that it'll come to be far more important than we understand yet. You set about solving the puzzle. So, 60 gems, and you need 3 of each. Oh gosh, I used to do these kinds of puzzles all the time in school. No, you need 3 of each. It says, what is the minimum number of gems to take downstairs with you to be sure you are holding, 3 gems of the same type. I wasn't even paying attention to the words I was saying. 3 gems of the same type is what you need. So 3 green emeralds, 3 clear diamonds, 3 red rubies. You need to have 3 of one of the types. Three gems of the same type. I'm running through numbers in my head. If you have one of each, then obviously you're not going to be able to have 3 of the same. I'm just mathing it out in my head. So if you have 3, there's a possibility that they're each one of a different kind, or they could all be the same kind. If you have, say, 5, then minimum you have 2 of the same kind and 2 different ones. Minimum. It could all be the same still, but at the very minimum, you have 2 of the same kind, 2 different ones. 6, you have at minimum 2, 2, 1. You could have 3, 1, 1. 6 could be 3, 2, 1. Then you have to take all of them at the same time is the thing. You grab them and take them downstairs. If you have 6, then it's a minimum of, you could have all 6 the same. You could have banana. That's tricky. Well, that's interesting. Yeah, hang on. So there are 20 green emeralds, 20 clear diamonds, 20 red rubies. They are all cut identically, impossible to distinguish by touch. In a moment, the light will go out. What is the minimum number of gems you will need to take downstairs with you to be sure you are holding 3 gems of the same type? Well, if you have 6, then there's still, you could have 2 of each. So you wouldn't be able to guarantee it with 6. Oh, but it doesn't specify which type you need. Like if it was saying, well, to guarantee that you have 3 emeralds, it's saying you need to have 3 of one of them. So with 6, you would, like, there's still the possibility of having 2, 2, 2. But if you have 7 gemstones, then you up that so that no matter what, you would have at least 3 gemstones for one of them, I think. I think that's right anyway. Yeah, math problems like this, like, you should have been here last time. There were a lot of riddles. I think it's 7. Which is Constable Tower. We'll find out. Luckily, these chapters, these sections, they'll say what section you're coming from. And it says I'm right. 75 priceless gems going to 7 Constable Tower. Yay! Math is a challenge. Oh, and this one has a bunch of things to look at. So, following the clue, you arrive at the Constable Tower. Oh, I can get rid of these guys. I just realized. So, following the clue, you arrive at Constable Tower. As always, you inspect each new place very closely. What have we here, Watson? He looks absurdly pleased that you are asking for his explanation. Well, he enthuses, this was the home of the Constable of the Tower, the commanding officer appointed by the monarch. Okay. There are no clues or apparent messages on the ground, so you take the winding stairs up. As you near the top, there appears to be a movement in the air ahead of you, and you hear footsteps receding. But you are unable to catch up with anyone, and when you reach the top of the staircase, you come into a comfortably appointed living room or office. There is plenty of evidence that someone has recently been here. Is someone helping us or hindering? You ponder aloud. If someone wants to help us, why would they not be more open about it, Watson says. There's no one about. Well, if this is anything like the last one that I did, it's because Irene Adler can't help you. At least not visibly. Let's see. It's surely rather obvious, old chum. There appears to be no one about, but there's no knowing who is in the shadows. Whoever's helping us may need to stay hidden. Is Moriarty wearing a red-haired wig, right? On the central On the central table is a light meal of sandwiches and cake with a decanter of some fine wine or other. On the floor, beside 2 enticing easy chairs, is a recently disturbed pile of papers. Beyond is a desk. In one corner, a drinks cabinet. Watson sniffs. Where is everyone? I wonder how Moriarty got everyone to leave. Indeed, Watson, but let's get to work. So, we have 4 options, and at the end it'll probably have us flip back to this page again. So, we can investigate the pile of papers, look in the drinks cabinet, examine the desk, or sit at the table. What would you like to investigate first? Whoever writes the first thing will go to that one. So, pile of papers, drinks cabinet, desk, table. Let me know what you want and we will go to it. I have a feeling that Moriarty wants us to look like we stole something. That's exactly right. I mean, the thing about this book is that it has you investigate things and then come back to the previous thing to investigate another thing until you go on. I'm thinking that sitting at the table is the wrong move because that might be the, oh, you take a nap and then you wake up in the morning and you've been arrested. So, but also I don't understand why you don't just set down the gemstones after you're done with them, but anyway. Just, this is me, this is my 3rd one of these books, so just based off of my experience with it, we are going to be looking through this entire office. Okay, desk it is, 39. Okay. Yeah, so we're not going to go back to that section, but we have more things to keep looking at after this. So I imagine the constable's desk could be a mine of useful information, Watson says, leading the way across the room. But when you get there, the top is quite clear. The drawers down the sides are all locked, and the central drawer contains only one document, a newspaper clipping, which I happen to have. Ta-da! Leading musicians serenade Her Majesty. Wednesday's much-anticipated concert on Tower Bridge will feature an orchestra of some of Europe's finest instrumentalists personally invited to perform the world premiere of Odon von Mihailovic's, I can never say that still, piece Sweet Thames Run Softly with the Allé Orchestra in front of Queen Victoria. Among those playing will be the celebrated violinist Wilhelm Normand Neruda. Mihailovic will be in the audience, and the conductor will be no less a figure than Edward Elgar. Neruda, you shout. I know her playing. Her attack and bowing are splendid. Her tone is taunting. How satisfactory. We must make sure we unpick whatever scheme Moriarty has laid in our way so we can congratulate Odon and enjoy the concert. Ah, Holmes. I wonder how Odon is embroiled in this plot. You don't suppose he is locked up somewhere in the tower. You are not able to find any further information on the desk. Okay, so now we can investigate the pile of papers, look in the drinks cabinet, or sit at the table. I know that Watson was eyeing the drinks cabinet, but I'm curious if he's just going to drink. Because that seems to be his MO in this book. I'm getting yelled at by Duolingo. I think that I'm going to investigate the pile of papers. Okay. So a pile of papers at the Constable Tower. I'm going to switch this now. So I wonder what we can find in this pile of papers, you ask. I must say, the Constable's office efficiency leaves something to be desired. I would still go with sitting because we had a view of Tower Bridge earlier. Yeah. The heap of papers looks to have been shuffled across the floor and is partially collapsing. Watson lifts a paper from the top. Underneath, Holmes, look, is a report from a Hungarian newspaper with pictures of books and musical instruments and sheet music in a grand setting. And here on top, you say, taking the paper from Watson, a sheet from a translation agency. Here's that sheet. Word-to-word translations, August 1st, 1896. Dear sir, the paragraphs you wanted translated from Hungarian read. News from the magnificent Panelhama Abbey, where Brother Andor von Mihalvik is poised to be named abbot on September 23rd. He will have complete freedom to reorganize and streamline the library's holdings, which date back over 1,000 years. His appointment is being seen as safeguarding the future of the library. We read about that chap outside St. Peter's, Watson says. He's Odon's brother, and September 23rd is tomorrow, old man. He's looking through the rest of the papers. Nothing else here is of interest, Holmes. It's all materials to do with delivery supplies to the tower. So, now we can look at the drinks cabinet or sit at the table. You want to sit at the table? We can do that. 79. No, so he has a brother. So Odon is the composer, and his brother is the abbot. Potentially. Who knows? And hang on one second. I need to reply to a text message. There we go. But of course, it could be completely like reversed and oh no, he's been kidnapped and replaced or whatever. You never know. The real Sherlock has joined the adventure. My cat is sitting on the table watching. I'm just gonna see. So, I did a little little peek, and I'm just going to tell you right now that if we go with your route of sitting down at the table, like I assumed, we're going to fall asleep. So we're not going to do that. We're going to look at the drinks cabinet. So, inside the Constable Tower drinks cabinet. You wonder whether a clue might be hidden in the drinks cabinet. It's the kind of place a fellow might hide something behind a bottle or inside an empty ice bucket or something, Watson says, curiously picking up once again on your unspoken thoughts. Sure enough, behind a bottle of Pattison's Royal Gordon, you find a letter typed on... that's not typed, though. Anyway, typed on the lightest typing paper, folded into a long, thin oblong. So this one is 72. See, that's not typed. That would be handwritten. Anyway. September 15, 1896. Dear Sir Daniel, to confirm, you have agreed to guarantee that all of the tower's guards, other personnel, and residents will be absent on the 22nd of this month for a period of 48 hours. I enclose the amount of £100 as agreed, but mark my words, if you don't do as arranged, I will release the information as discussed. Yours most gratefully, Jamie A. Moriarty. I think that's Sammy A. Jordy? Anyway. Well, that explains where everyone is, Watson says. Absolutely shocking that the constable of the tower should abandon post. This is getting quite serious, Watson, you add. Corruption in high places. Who is this Jordy? What a strange first name. Is he a Finn or something? An anagram, Watson, for a much more familiar name. I think you'll be able to work it out. It's obviously Moriarty. Okay. So no matter what, we have to sit at the table. So I guess we're going to do it. So we're going to... but we're going to 79. Which is different than before. Because the... Oh, no, it's not. Never mind. So either we took a wrong turn somewhere else in the book, or this is something that's just had to happen. So Watson is eagerly eyeing the food laid out at the central table. Maybe a bite to eat and a glass of something restorative before we go any further, Holmes. Feeling much more than a little weary, you sit in one of the armchairs near the central table. I just realized how I feel about Moriarty, and that it's like going to the Fey realm where you don't eat or drink anything. If you know he's about, you don't want to chance consuming something that he's going to poison or drug. Like, why would you do that? So logically, in my mind, I'm like, don't eat or drink anything. Why would you do that? But Watson and Holmes are doing it. So, feeling more than a little weary, you sit in one of the armchairs near the central table. It's only like 6 p.m. It's like 7 p.m., something like that. Why would you be tired? Rather fine port, says Watson, pouring a second glass for himself and one for you, and truly excellent sandwiches, roast beef and horseradish. That's interesting taste. You join him. They are rather good. He offers you a piece of a Victoria sponge. I'm not a child, Watson. I would prefer a piece of that rather excellent-looking fruit-cake. Watson sits in the other easy chair and within a few moments is breathing deeply. His need for sleep is ridiculous. The windows are dark and you wonder vaguely what the time is now. You hear what could be a raven flapping its wings outside the window. You are happy to spend a few peaceful moments thinking through the case, but your eyes droop. A thought pops into your head that you should really have kept count of the number of steps you went up and down in the many, many towers. Again, your eyes droop, and darkness seems to flow in through the shadows from the London night. You have been ambushed by sleep. Turn to 41. First light. Not the end, though. We have another thing to do. So I'm going to go ahead and close this off. And then go to here. Okay. So, you wake with a start. You had a dream that there was someone in the room with you and Watson, talking to you in a rather superior way. Watson is already stirring. Just had a moment's shut-eye, Holmes. More than a moment, Watson, you say, indicating first light of dawn, just visible in the sky outside through the windows. What? Look, it's the beginnings of dawn. How long did we sleep? Time is against us, Holmes. Why didn't you wake me? You clear your throat and look down. What's this? You are both covered with sheets of newspaper as if someone had laid paper blankets over your sleeping bodies. See. Oh, interesting. I didn't know that. The same on Watson. Did you do this, Watson, you ask? He shakes his head morosely. Could someone have been in the room with you? There's a crossword here that had been drawn on the newspaper, and 4 letters of the answers are ringed. I'll go ahead and show that here. Complete the crossword. The 4 ringed letters form a word well suited to your current condition and is also the first part of the name of your destination. Okay. There are many on the site. Would be tower, silver gray metal, 3 down, iron, creeps up on you when you're tired, sleep, Sorry, am I going too fast? Will you be blank time tomorrow? 7. I'll say it on my own. Yeah, on time. 8 is fortress. 4 letters. Fortress. Not, hold? Could be hold. I don't think so, because then 6 across would be LONH. Oh, you only have to do this to receive help is 3 letters, though. Ask. Yep. Okay. The only one I'm not sure about is fortress. Okay, so then we have 2 across, sleepy, 4 letters. I have barky dogs. Hi. Hi, baby girls. They hear someone in the corridor. Okay, let's see. 4 across is a fool person who rests when they should be looking for clues. You. Let's see. 11 for when the queen arrives. Stand. That's 1 too many letters, though. It needs to be 4 letters. 9, guardian of the tower. Raven. Because the V was the only letter that was missing there. Sleepy. Bows. Okay, but then what would 5 down be? Creeps up on you when you're tired. Oh, sorry, 10. 10? 10 is ask. If you can hear that, Rosie is scratching her ear. So, you mean 11. Yeah, bows, but then sleep doesn't work. For when the queen arrives... Pomp? Maybe. We need 4 across, 2 across, and 8 down. Adds security, 6 across, LON blank. Keep. Okay, so LON is wrong, but keep is correct for sure. Wow, I'm doing a horrible job of writing things down. Hang on. And yes, I know I'm writing in the book. I'm so horrible. Okay. Yeah, so pomp makes sense then, but so 3 down is incorrect. Silvery gray metal isn't iron. Let's look at 6 across. Add security. I mean, technically we don't need it. I just want to do the whole thing just 'cause. Fool. 4 across. Person who rests when they should be looking for clues. You! But I don't think that's it because I think tower's 1 down. It might be something else, though. Tower, 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 tower. There's so many towers. It has to be tower. Unless it's like brick or something. Fool. Fool that starts with O. Oaf. Yeah, good one. Oaf. Heh. And so with that, technically, we don't need everything else because we have everything else. The 4 ringed letters form a word well suited to your current condition and is also the first part of the name of your destination, which is weak. W-E-A-K, I would assume. Weak? Wake. Ah, wake, not weak. I mean, weak is also their current position, but wake is more accurate. We're going to Wakefield. Let's see, where's 5 there? Wakefield Tower. I don't know if we need to go to 5 or 36 because both of them are at the Wakefield Tower. One of them is the jewel room upstairs in the Wakefield Tower, and the other one is just the Wakefield Tower. So I'm going to see if it's 36 first. Okay, that one is from 41, but I'm going to check to see if 5 is also from 41. Yes, thank you guys. No, it's not. So it is 36. So before I leave this, though, do you guys want to solve the remainder of this puzzle? We still need 2 across and 3 down and 6 across. Sleepy. It's 4 letters. Jewel room where I already said we would be arrested for or so for something. Exactly. And we have 7 gemstones in our pockets now. Technically. So we have sleepy, we have silvery gray metal, and we have adds security are the remaining. L-O blank K. Adds security. A lock. And so zinc maybe? No, 6 across is L-O blank K. Because we have sleep and on for 5 down and 7 down. So 6 across, it would be L-O blank K, so lock. Lead for Blay in German, lead for Blay in German doesn't have an A, right? It does, yeah, L-E-A-D. But we're looking for a metal that ends with a C that is 4 letters, and I believe zinc is one. You're fine, don't worry about it. Oh, and then sleepy, maybe lazy. Let's see if we got all of the answers right. 41. Tower, oaf, raven, ask, sleep, on, lock, pump, keep, zinc, and dozy. I mean, some people would say that you're lazy if you're sleepy. Dozy. Very cool. And on that note, let's continue. Oh wait, this one. Wakefield Tower. So. Dozy, yeah, it is pretty American. That's okay though. So. Heading to Wakefield Tower. You make your way out of the Constable Tower and begin to cross the courtyard outside. The dawn breeze is strong and quick and whistles past your ears. It is still 3/4 dark. Then, for just a moment, it sounds more than a breeze. For an instant, you are certain you can hear a single haunting note being played on the violin. Watson grabs your arm, so he can hear it too. The note dies away, but the sound of it echoes in your memory. The playing, the ghostly, haunting tone almost reminds you of something, of someone you've heard play before. You can't place who. Shall we go to investigate, you ask, moving towards the music. Something cold and hard reaches out of the darkness and traces its way down your face. You jump backwards. What's up, old chap? What's up? Excuse you, Watson. You would not say that. Watson asks, concerned. He turns concerned. You look up and breathe a sigh of relief. You had walked straight into another Stradivarius string. You detach it from the tree branch above and pocket it quickly. The memory of the note echoes in your ears. Or, perhaps, is it being played once more? You take a few tentative steps into the darkness. Watson falters, unsure. We have no sense of the time, Holmes. We've been asleep for hours. Don't you think we should get on? You pause and consider his words. So my thought is that following the music has led us to clues this whole time. So I think that it's important to follow the clues. So I'm going to go ahead and follow the music. And we have found another one. You walk towards the sound of the note. We do have another choice, which to just follow behind Watson and keep going towards the Wakefield Tower. So you walk towards the sound of the note. As you venture away from the Constable Tower, you begin to lose access to any artificial light, and Watson has to take his matches from his pocket to attempt to light your way. As he lights the fourth match, you notice something stuck between two flagstones just under your step. The match burns to its base, and Watson drops it, grimacing onto the floor. Light another, you call out. There seems to be a small wooden box underfoot. You retrieve the box and open it delicately to reveal a small rolled-up piece of paper. Another piece of music. Let me get to that, actually. Na-na-na-na-na. There you go. Yet again, not enough lines. That's fine. This one has the word "for" written across the top. You mentally store the note and then slide the scrap of paper into your pocket. What on earth do you think these notes are for? Watson asks. You shake your head and respond, I don't know. I feel as though they are trying to tell me something, but I'm not sure what yet. Watson picks up the violin case and you return to the path. Turn to 49. Okay, so that has the double cross for beginning. Exactly. Yeah, so we have that one. I'll just show you. We have that one. Let's see. And then... I think it was this one. But in any case. So, For My Love. Yeah, anyway. Didn't the newspaper clip say what piece will be played? Yeah, Sweet Thames Runs Softly or something like that. I've written it down. Sweet Thames Runs Softly. So the Thames River. Yeah. You start again for the Wakefield Tower. Heading back past the Constable Tower, your eye is caught. There's something on the wall you didn't notice before. You find a wire letterbox holding a single unopened letter. You call Watson over. This letter is from Odon, addressed to the constable, postmarked about a month ago. It must have sat here unopened. Watson nods. You slide the letter out of the envelope and read aloud. You are committing mail fraud. 49. Hang on. There we go. Letter. Dun dun dun. Constable, I write to you with a sincere request. I am in dire need of protection. In 1 month's time, I will attend a concert on London's Tower Bridge. I plan to use this concert as a platform. My brother, known as Brother Andor, will soon gain control of Hungary's, that's hard to read in this cursive writing, Panorama Abbey. He plans to profit from the Abbey's riches to sell off the priceless art and artifacts of the Abbey holds for his own personal gain. Ooh, he doesn't like his brother. I will use the concert to let the world know of his plan. However, I cannot do this without support. Andor will try to stop me. I need your help to stop him. You're committing mail fraud. Go to page 47. Don't pass go and continue directly to jail. Well, conveniently, we're in the Tower of London, so we're already in jail. You sigh. Watson looks at you and turns over the envelope. This date is about when Odon asks you for help. You nod. Despite this letter being unopened, you say, I am convinced Andor indeed found out. I believe he has trapped Odon. We must save him. Turn to 96. Evil twins! Exactly. Oop, too far. We have another one, and I know that I took a picture of this because it's the only, it's the only red cover. Dun-dun-dun! Okay. King's private chapel in the Wakefield Tower. Eager to get on, you lead Watson towards the Wakefield Tower and into a large central room. You find yourself hurrying. But once there, you stand perfectly still, casting your eyes about, searching for an indication of where Moriarty's chain of clues, could be leading next. Watson's reading about the tower is still bearing fruit, quote-unquote. You sigh. He leans the violin case against the wall and reads, They began building the Wakefield Tower in 1220, he says. Originally the Blundeville Tower. May have changed the name when they used it to lock up prisoners captured in the Battle of Wakefield. Historians believe it is where the king had his apartments. Information, speculation. You want hard facts that will help you unpick the mystery facing you tonight. You want to remind Watson that you are working against the clock, but for some reason you remain silent. He's calling you across. This is the king's private chapel. King Henry the Sixth may have been stabbed here at prayer, on 21 May 1471, though some say he died of grief on hearing his son Edward had been killed on the battlefield. They also say his ghost haunts the tower. But now you are happy for him to chatter on. You have found your clues in the chapel. Great Scott, he shouts. Are those words on the wall written in blood? I would put nothing past Moriarty, you say. Use the clues in the scene to find a number and turn to that number paragraph. Thought I heard something. Okay, so you guys have it on screen. Now I am going to do a hard squint. We're all looking for meaning. Combine, count. Yeah. We're all looking for meaning. Combine, count. Yeah, sorry, that's like right on the edge. I did my best. I'll write it down. Nope, that's also capitalized. So that's what it says on the wall, and there are letters broken on the ground that look like the start of the word cathedral. I'm curious if any of the other symbols in the room, though, are related. I also like how Holmes's hat is fully just on his face. Yeah. Five, 8, 26, 7, just in case. Thank you. Combine. I'm trying to think because combine and count. That's what's throwing me off here. And I just want to say that if Moriarty wrote this in blood on the wall, then he was using a very fine-tipped paintbrush, because that is cursive. We're all looking for meaning. Huh. I'm gonna look at the clue. combine comes before count in the message scrawled on the wall, what element in the scene can be combined and then counted? We're all looking for meaning. What does that suggest? Combine first and then count. Is there a symbol with a squiggle? On a base level, Kath would combine and count to 46. Not just the letters on them. The number of shards, not just the number of letters on them. There are 12 shards. If I counted them right anyway. Combine and count. 12 would be an R just in case. Okay. Kath, Krath. No. I'm just going to turn to 46 to see, but I don't think that that's quite right. No. Combine and count. Kind of makes me think of one of those word games, you know, the stupid ones that are constantly advertised, where you're like, oh, what do these like letters in a circle do? So you have like cat, hat, at, things like that. Stream Elements, calm down. There's less than 24 hours left of my Candy Crush thing. So hey, if you haven't downloaded it yet. Does it make sense to count the tiles in the shadow? They look a bit too symmetrical for me. Not, I don't think so. Maybe. You mean the section that's around the altar? Like, the problem is that Watson is covering up part of it, so we would have to exclude that, and obviously Moriarty wouldn't be doing that. It's a possibility, though. Like, do you want to count them? Wait, it's definitely a C or could be a U off, like, maybe like authority? How are we getting a word out of that, though? Just wondering, fully. I am wondering, though, about the thing that I was doing before. So we have cat, hat, at, chat, ta, if, I don't know if that would count as a word. Because that's combining letters. If it's a U, that makes things trickier. Hut. No, that's definitely an H. Yeah, it doesn't have dips. Hmm. Because then it would be math, our eternal enemy. True. I'm kind of stuck on this right now. We're all looking for meaning, combine, and count. I don't know what the we're all looking for meaning thing could be. Oh yeah, true. That's fine. I don't know about that part, but if we're combining and counting, combining these letters creating words, I've been able to find 5. Can you see any others? Any other combinations? If these are the letters that they actually are, of course. I don't know. I'm just gonna go to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna see if that's it. Vindication. Right. That one. Wait, where's the thing? It's there. From 96. I'm gonna look at the solution just to see if I did it right or if I just stumbled upon it by chance. Combine the letters to make words. Count the number of words. They have to be words of more than one letter since you're asked to combine. The number of whole words that can be made from the letters C, H, A, and T is 5. Oh, I completely stumbled across it. Ta was not a word for them. Chat, hat, cat, act, and at. On the map, 5 indicates the upstairs jewel room in the Wakefield Tower. Turn to 5. I accidentally stumbled upon it because I was thinking ta would count as a word because, you know, I'm not always so smart in this thing. And that was partially a mistake, but hey, it's fine. Also, looking at this, I 100% was like, "Shat, why are we using the word cat in French?" Not even thinking about the fact that it's the word chat. Oh, anyway. Hey, we have another thing. Now scroll all the way down. Okay. I make it 5 words, Watson says, and on the map 5 indicates upstairs in the same tower. You are on the stairs before him and enter the room on the top floor. This is the jewel room, built only 28 years ago, he says, where the crown jewels are. He falls silent. In the center of the room is a large fenced enclosure, without doubt to house the jewels in normal times. But it is quite empty. Where in God's name can they be? Watson says. Can Moriarty have stolen them as part of his wicked scheme? I don't doubt they're involved, my dear fellow, you say, drawing a deep breath. But the plot must be bigger than just a theft. Moriarty has boasted of a threat on Tower Bridge. What threat could the crown jewels being missing pose? Watson grunts. He plucks another note from the railings. I highly doubt that the queen would be wearing all of the crown jewels. There's a lot of them. But yes, I agree. She could be wearing some of them. Okay, so number 5. Dun-dun-dun. I just combined it into one file. So, dear struggling Sherlock, wandering Watson, I hope our tour of the tower is giving you both pleasure. I am sorry that you cannot enjoy seeing the crown jewels in all their splendor. No doubt you are wondering whether I intend to steal them. Nothing so obvious. I will soon, with the help of a friend, have access to the great wealth of a famous... how do you say that? Ecclesiastical church institution. My brain is not braining, and I am Jewish, so I'm not used to this word. I'm gonna Google this. This is gonna bother me.
Ecclesiastical.
Ecclesiastical. Okay. I am multilingual. I cannot do this. Ecclesiastical. I was saying like ecclesiastic. Anyway, ecclesiastical. So, I will soon, with the help of a friend, have access to the great wealth of a famous ecclesiastical institution. For now, look up to see, take a step forward to decode, and turn around to find the way. Decode the clues to find your next destination, look it up on the map, and turn to that number. So we do have crowns in the decoder. E. There's my pencil. Oh, there's the box. Of or relating to a church, especially established institution. Yeah, that's why I was just like the church thing. It's a church institution. I knew what it meant, I just couldn't say it. Did you enjoy seeing me short circuit live? I am intrigued by the fact that struggling Sherlock and wandering Watson are capitalized. Sherlock is not amused that your stream is cutting into her snack time, BRB. How dare. I'm awful. This poor kitty cat. Ecclesiastical. Ugh, that word. But anyway. So, yeah. KKDA, which means absolutely nothing. Decode the clues to find your next destination, look it up on the map, and turn to that number. For now, look up to see. So look up at these. Take a step forward to decode, and turn around to find the way. So what I'm thinking is that we step forward one letter. Maybe. I'm just doing it this way because it makes my life easier. Aha! Look up to see, take a step forward to decode, and turn around to find the way. So when I did that, I got LLEB, and you turn that around, and it's Bell. My name is finally free from the Japanese jail. Oh, wait, your name was in Japanese jail? I'm curious what that means. But yeah, so you just take KKDA, you have LLEB, and then according to the bottom line there, it says take a step forward to decode, so you have the LLEB, and then turn around to find the way. Bell. Welcome on in, Westy. How's it going? Yeah, last time I rode here, I accidentally had my name as Westy in Japanese. Ah, yeah. No worries. I know that it's you, Westy. You're all good. Okay, so we're going to Bell. Bell Tower? I'm very happy that that did not take me nearly as long as they usually do. Bell Tower, number 50. From 5. At the bell tower window, and we're gonna have another thing. I'm already prepped for it. B-E-L-L, you call out. Watson leads the way along the inner wall from the Wakefield Tower. The heavy door at the bottom of the bell tower creaks as he hauls it open. He climbs up the steep, narrow stairway, then halts on a small landing. Hold a minute, Holmes. Rather beautiful handiwork. He indicates a small stained glass window set on the tower wall. You examine it. One piece is missing from the design, and 4 pieces are laid on the sill below. You quickly see that it is not actually a window, but a metal grid into which 16 glass pieces have been fitted. You point this out to him. 4 by 4 makes 16, with 1 missing makes 15, he muses. And perhaps take away 4 on the windowsill from the total, 11. Any significance in that? Your mind is at work. The text came up as bottom of the bottom. I love that. Blah, 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 blah. Your mind is at work. The designs in the makeshift window are familiar from the code wheel, and on the sill you find "Spin the wheel" written very neatly in chalk. You explain the task at hand, work out which of the designs on the sill would logically fit into the design as the missing piece, then use the wheel to find the next destination. Okay, so here's our lovely image with our 1 missing piece. So I think it's decoding time. And I need a new page. Okay. And I already see the diamond right there. Where'd you go? I went too far. There it is. R. Nope. One more. Okay, so we've got that one. Why is there a badminton going on there? Very good question. Still the same. Why? I should put what these individual symbols are as well. Currently it looks like gibberish to me, but you know. G. J. Okay, and then we have Batman and the square. The square's N. And Badminton is O. Okay, so we have, and I'm just going to type out each row individually. R, W, E, Y. E, Y, G, W. G, W, blank, Y. J, Y, R, Y. And then these are the potential letters. R, C, O, and N. I have no idea what this one's supposed to mean. So, like, visually looking at the symbols, I would say that the badminton one and the one that's in the middle with it, YMNCA. Yep, no YMCA for us. Yeah, I'd be like those 2 middle ones don't count because they don't fit the same aesthetic theme, but then there's that the J in the bottom corner. Symbol-wise, I don't know. I'm going to look at the clue. It is work out which of the designs on the sill, so the R, C, O, or N, would logically fit into the design as the missing piece. And it's potential that what Watson gave us was a clue as well with the 11 and stuff. I don't want the solutions, I want the clues. 50. It says, look at how and whether designs touch one another. Ah, interesting. What does it mean? Mm-hmm. So maybe that first one would be, yeah, it's the only one that is sideways like the others, and it's saying like how and why things are touching each other. Look at how, sorry, and whether the designs touch one another. So I think that that makes the most sense. Yeah. It would be between 1 and 4. 1 makes the most sense, but then the last row, bottom left, is the only one touching up top, but not to left. Exactly. That's the one that throws me off. I'm leaning towards number 1 as well, since we're looking at how the shapes are touching. So let's see if it's 1, and if not, it's not like this is life or death for us. So 88. From 50, Byward Tower. Yes, I agree with you, says Watson. It must be the first piece, which leads us to 88. He looks up on the map, Byward Tower. It is just a short walk from the inner wall to the outer wall, from the bell tower to the Byward. Well, I mean, we have all of the numbers here that we could potentially go to, so that part doesn't mean anything. We might be going towards one of the bad endings. We don't know. So let's see. You walk into the tower and glance around quickly. You are momentarily stunned. Painted on the wall on either side of a large fireplace is a beautiful ornate mural. I give you the win. It shows St. Michael and a number of other figures standing on a long stretch of green grass. Michael is wearing blue robes and a gold crown. His red wings reach far above his head and then down to his waist. It's striking, isn't it, Holmes? Says Watson, turning to you. You nod. Below the image, someone has written 3 lines. To follow the ground, go to Devereux. To follow the robes, go to the North Bastion. To follow the wings, go to the Broad Arrow Tower. You gesture towards the sentences. What can these mean? You ask. You ask Watson, who is scrabbling around the floor. He stands up, brandishing a coil of paper. This, Holmes, I believe, is the puzzle. You read it over his shoulder. So let me go to 88. In time there will be a day of judgment. It will be taken. All will gather together to determine what is to become of him, the traitor. Strapped to the wheel at the start, and I'm going to write down all of the words that are bold. At the start, some truths will be revealed, and with them, a lie will be hidden. And in the midst of it, you will be caught. Turned over, trapped. 6s and 7s, unable to stop, unable to act, unable to make it change. You will have no places. After the day of judgment, nothing will be left. There will be one new ruler, and I will have won. That should be left. Typing with one hand. Start with a turn, 6 places left. you think it describes the scene ahead or us? Watson asks. Both, perhaps, but more importantly, the message contains a puzzle. Use the map to find your next location. Start with the turn 6 places left. From Byward Tower? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, that's the Yeoman Warders Club. Unless I'm going the wrong direction on this map. I should be going the other direction. Is it too late to admit that I'm also absolutely useless when it comes to maps? I'm good with maps. Don't worry. Start with a turn, 6 places left. The start with the turn part is what's confusing me, so I'm just like, okay, am I going on the inner wall or the outer wall? What does the turn to the start with the turn part mean? I would assume that it's turn left, turn right, one of those. So if you're at Byward Tower, you turn. I just don't know where we're oriented on the Byward Tower. So let me look at the clue to see if they just conveniently give us a thing. Perhaps some words in the text are more influential than others. Where did they lead you? Cool, thanks. That's what we already had. Let's see. Start with 180, turn left because left is bold. I'll then turn to the left. Oh, wait, is this the... Is this dude? I'm wondering if it's this. So start with A, turn 6 places left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If it's going... I wish they would say clockwise or counterclockwise. And even then, like, that makes more sense to me. So it's either G10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or U6. I'm just typing those down because I will forget them. Get to the Salt Tower is 6 and 10. Where's 10? It might not be on here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's 6 away from the Byward Tower. Okay, yeah, that's the thing that confuses me because I'm like, well, if I'm looking straight at it, is it left or right? Up or down makes more sense to me. I'm trying to get to the map. Yeah. Oh, wait. Hang on. Okay, so we have U6. It shows Saint Michael and a number of other figures standing on a long stretch of green grass. Michael is wearing blue robes and a gold crown. His red wings reach far above his head and down to his waist. Green, blue, red. It's the color wheel on top there. We're going to green. So follow the ground, which is green. Go to Devereaux. Okay. Let's see if this is right. 45 from 88. Ah! I was right. One point minus for colorblind people, right? That is the one, like, really big downside of these. So 45. Perfect. Following the map, you find your way to the Devereaux Tower. You enter a large chamber, sparsely furnished. There's a hard wooden bed, a chair, and a badly worn rug. Your sharp eyes spot a tiny corner of paper tucked beneath the rug, and you pull out a note. Oh goodness, this is going to be interesting to read. Let's see. Ugh, there's a reason why I put this so big on the overlay. I leave this note in desperation and hope to find a friendly reader. I write with a broken heart and a blunt pencil on a scrap of paper in captivity. My brother Andor, in alliance with a notorious international criminal, is poised to defraud the great Pannonhalma Abbey, where he resides as a Benedictine of the immense riches in its library. He tried to involve me in the plot, but I secretly determined to use an opportunity given to me by having my music performed at Tower Bridge before England's Queen, to expose him and his partner in crime, Moriarty. But they found out my plan, and I have been swept off the streets in London and kept under lock and key in this tower by a brawny man they call Moran. Help me! Watson's gaze is appalled. You nod. We could have acted sooner, but all we can do now is solve this problem and help Odon out of his crisis. Odon must be somewhere else in the compound. We must find him and prevent whatever Moriarty has planned for Tower Bridge this morning. After a careful search, you find no further clues or hidden documents in the room. You look for a way out and take a spiral stone staircase that leads to the story above. As you are climbing, your foot catches on a loose flagstone. To continue up the staircase, turn to 76. To investigate the flagstone, turn to 81. Of course, I'm going to investigate the flagstone. Turn to 81. A wobbling flagstone. You identify the stone that you tripped over and give it a quick kick. The flagstone shifts under the impulse, and you lift it up. Underneath is a scrap of parchment. Don't worry about it. Moran is used as a bully in this. It looks impossibly old, almost as though it might turn to dust at the slightest touch. A message is written on the front. You read it aloud. When water is raised, descend. Freedom lies below. I'm going to write that down. When water is raised, descend. Freedom lies below. I'm guessing that when the water comes up, that there's going to be a channel that you can swim underneath, and you can swim under the tower grates. Watson is watching you. What can it mean, Holmes? I'm not sure, you respond, moving the flagstone to cover the message once more. You get up to move on, but the words have lodged themselves in your mind. Water above, freedom below. How will you escape? Turn to 76. Devereaux Tower Story 2. You have a sense that you have let Odon down, but you are careful to remind yourself that rushing is of no benefit. A cool head is what is needed. Watson is hot on your heels. Anything useful to report, Watson? You ask. He manages a weak smile, as though grateful for the distraction. Remarkable tale, actually, though how useful I'm not sure. This tower is named after Robert Devereux, Earl of Essex, a great nobleman imprisoned here after attempting a rebellion and thus falling out with Elizabeth I. He had a signet ring from Elizabeth, who told him that if he ever returned it to her, he would be forgiven whatever he had done. He tried to do just that, dropping it from the tower to a passing page boy with instructions to give it to the Queen, but the boy instead gave it to Devereux's great enemy, Lady Nottingham. She kept it. Interesting indeed. You nod, your eyes busily scanning the chamber for clues. You see chalked on the wall. Let me go to this one. Look alert, Sherlock Holmes. Let's remember your allies are not always your friends. What does this say? Spinum A.L.? A and L. $25 and 8. You muse over the inscription. It appears that our enemy may also be familiar with the tale you just recounted, Watson. What does the message mean, Holmes? How does it lead us to our next destination? Decode the message, the map might come in handy. There's also a cross through I, N, and U. So look at the map. St. Paul's, yeah, maybe. What does spitum mean? Is it Latin? I never took Latin. I'm American. I'll look up if spitum means anything. Accusative singular of spinus. It is Latin. Which means thorn bush, blackthorn, or sloe tree. S-L-O-E tree. So not anything that would be here. Yeah, spinum is what I was trying to look up. But it is a tree. Which is interesting, but not what we're going for here. A-L. Spinum. That's not it. But L could be Meta, B Lestrade. Is he? No, he's not mentioned in this book. In previous book, he's been mentioned, but not in this one. I think in the first one that I did, he was mentioned. A and L are 8 and 25. Let me look at the book again. A-L. It's not spinum. S-P-M. Because I-N-U is crossed out. A and L. I mean, there's a lot of A's and L's in this riddle. Look alert, Sherlock Holmes. Let's remember your allies are not always your friends. Oh. Hi, girls. Got scared for a second there because they made a noise. Hi, girls. Hi, puppers. Anyway. Okay. I mean, they constantly are having us count things. What if we just need to count the A's and L's? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 if they're counting that. 5 if they're not. Like the A and L on the bottom. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 or 9. Well, good luck with solving the rest. Sadly, night shift calls. No worries. You have a good one, and I'll see you later. Bye. Have a good night. Decode the message. The map might come in handy. So if it's going off of what I'm thinking, 5 or 6, 8 or 9. Let's see if there's anything related to that. So I mean, I'm guessing combine them because 5 or 8 wouldn't make any sense. So 58 or 69. Not 58. Yeah, 58. Well, 58's White Tower. There's no 69. Yeah, no. So if it's 58 with the White Tower, maybe. It is. Wahahaha. Let's see. I feel like we have to be near the end at this point. I don't know if we are, though. It's really tough to tell. And I just realized that I've been going for almost 3 hours. I think I'm going to stop here for tonight just because I know if it goes on, I feel like it has to be a little bit meatier. I don't know. Oh, hi there. Hello. I was just saying I think that I might be stopping for the night because we're doing this Sherlock Holmes escape book, and normally I've done them in like 2-hour, 2.5-hour chunks. And when I do that with these books, it takes 3 streams to finish them. But I did shorter streams before for the first 2, so I think I still have like an hour left to go on this, maybe. So I think that I'm gonna stop here with the stream. I'm so sorry. But I will be finishing this when I get back from visiting my folks in the States. And I do have a stream tomorrow night. I'm going to be streaming, oh geez, what's it called? The cozy game, Stardew Valley. I'm gonna be streaming Stardew Valley tomorrow with my friend Paul. So he loves playing Stardew Valley, so I'm gonna play it with him. Thank you. But I'll be back very soon, sometime soon, to finish this book off. We can't be that much further along for it. So I will see y'all next time. Hopefully see you tomorrow night. And I hope that you have a wonderful time. Have a good evening or a good day, whatever time zone it is for you. Happy time zone. Bye.